Hey everyone, so we are making what's called a slider card, and this is one of actually Rob Ives' inventions. I saw this on his site, and I thought it'd be a great thing to add to our Hawks Makerspace site. So what I've done is I've broken one down into the different parts to show you how it's made. I'm not really going to make it on the video, but I'm going to take you through it step by step. Okay, so I'll put this one aside, and I have my parts here. And I'll do a little explaining, and I need to take it apart first. So what I've done here, I started with just a 15 centimeter by 12 centimeter piece of cardboard, and it can be any size you want. It can be big, it can be small, and what I've found works the best, it seems, that your slider arm needs to be twice the length of your piece of cardboard, just so that you have enough space or enough room to go back and forth and to have enough range of motion on the slider. And it's really fairly simple. And all you do is you basically take your pieces of cardboard, and I'll slide this through and I'll show you on the other side. And you just have a couple of guides that you glue in place, right? And you glue them in place like that. Okay. And then you take another piece on the top and put a little piece of glue on both your slider guides, and then you glue it on like that, right? And then once it's glued on, and this is going to stick a little bit because it's not; these aren't glued on, it will actually slide back and forth nicely like that. Okay, it actually works really well. And what I've done, I'll take these off, and what I've done is I've made a stopper on here. Right, so it won't go any farther. And you can do the same thing on this side as well, but I'm just going to leave this one empty because once you put your pieces on here, you're going to stop anyway. Now, one little trick that you need to look at if you're going to do this in cardboard is when you cut your slider arm, make sure that you cut it so that the holes in the cardboard are facing up, because it makes it much easier to put something in when you're going to put your character that's going to be moved back and forth. And what I've done is I've changed. The first one I used a paper clip, but I found it to be a little trickier in terms of fitting it in. I had to fold the paper clip, bend it around to fit it inside. And I find that a piece of popsicle stick works really well. I just cut it in half, and you have to fit it into one of the holes, and obviously you're going to have to make the hole a little bigger, so as you push it in, the hole will either collapse or one of the pieces will shove it to the side, right? And when you push it in, it's kind of hard to see, there we go, when you push it in, it'll make it bigger, right? And you just wiggle it in, and just be careful not to push it in too far. And what you can do is you can put a dab of white glue or hot glue on there and put it in, and it will stay there pretty well. And then you can decide on how you're going to design your card. That was not right. So we'll have to slide this back in, and then you decide how you want to design it. I'll put this in there. And so just assuming I have my piece on this side, and it's going to slide back and forth, right? And what you can do is you can put maybe a piece of background behind the top, right? Some kind of color behind the top, and then you can put your cover piece. Now these numbers will disappear, and then you can put your cover piece on top like that, and then you can decide what kind of character that you want to have on where the paper is. I'll hold this like this, and it slides back and forth. So what I did on my original one is I cut little waves, and I actually did just a blue background as well, just because I wanted it all to kind of be water. And you know, another option is I could have made the fish a different color and put something else in the back. And it doesn't have to be a fish; it can be anything. It can be a bicycle. It can be somebody walking. You know, anything you really want to do. And this one came actually a little too far. It's jumping out of the water almost. But that's how you do it, and they're really quite simple. What I need to find out though is I need to work on a way to use just plain, almost just plain paper for the primary students, just so they don't have to cut so much cardboard. This would be great for junior students to do something a little more complex, but for the primaries, I think we need to work on just doing a paper sample. So that's it. Hope you enjoy it.